Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, a night of socializing leads to catastrophe for a man from the village of Caledonia in Corozal. He becomes the latest victim of fatal road traffic accident. Cuban president's state visit to Belize makes history. 2 agreements are signed during President Miguel Diaz-Canel Barbudas' time in Belize. And decibel reader to register noise pollution at establishments will now be enforced. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, February 13th, 2023.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. This is nice.
I think what really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Bring on the heat! Start up the gunfire! Whip up the dead!
It's about a relationship that hopefully many people can relate to.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
This is our best chance to find a habitable planet.
You're shooting the bullet. You're catching it.
Arrakis is a death trap.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Good evening, with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. There is a fatal traffic accident to report tonight. The victim, Ian Glenn Lanza, a 31-year-old construction worker from Caledonia Village, Corozal, who lost his life just outside San Pablo Village in Orange Walk, where the highway is being upgraded. Official police report confirms that this morning at 6:45, the body of Lanza was seen on an open trench culvert between miles 64 and 65 along the Philip Golson Highway. The victim was wearing a gray t-shirt, long blue jeans, khaki boots, and a gray helmet. When we visited the area, we were able to record remnants of the broken purple cycle, including what appears to be backlights of the bike. We spoke to Mario Gonzalez, a former owner of Mario's Bar and a friend of the deceased. Gonzalez says he is still at odds with the sad news that his longtime friend lost his life.
Yo lo conozco hace como 2 años. Él siempre es mi amigo, ¿no? Andaba siempre con sus, no sé si son sus primos, amigos, y siempre andaban, y los conozco, así que le gusta andar tomando, pero hoy la mañana que levanté me mandaron a decir que que se murió, me espanté, la mera verdad, y vi que vino la policía acá y decirme que sí es Mario's Bar, pero acá ya no es bar, es casa ahora, como lo puedes ver, es una casa ahora acá con familia, y la verdad estoy espantado todavía, ni lo puedo creer que él se murió, porque como es mi amigo, ¿no?
Pues, ayer estaba hablando que tal vez tenía problemas o algo así.
No, nada de problemas, va bien, el muchacho estaba muy bien, la verdad tomó unas chelitas aquí, vino a pasearme acá y tomamos unas cervezas y con él y después no tardó y se fue, la verdad supe que estaba con el chino tomando allá, pero no supe nada más de él y hasta me espanté, la verdad, cuando la mañana que levanté me dijeron que se murió, madre mía, sí me espanté, no sabía lo que pasó.
¿Su familia ha llegado tal vez para hablar con usted? Porque aquí fue donde, podríamos decir, lo último donde estaba pasando la tarde, ¿no?
No ha venido la familia, pero si vienes al caso, pues sales por así que viene un ratito acá y se quitó. No tardó porque como andaba con sus, no sé cómo te digo, no sé si son sus primos o... Ajá.
¿Usted podría decir que estaba tomado para poder manejar? Sería...
No estaba tomando. Se tomó tal vez como unas 3 cervezas nada más.
Y después se fue.
Se fue, ajá.
Reports suggest that last night the deceased was socializing with Gonzalez but then decided to leave before 7 p.m. It appears that Lanza lost control of his cycle and collided into the culvert, dying instantly. Lanza's body was transported to the Northern Regional Hospital where it was pronounced dead. President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, touched down at the Philip Golson International Airport by presidential aircraft for a whirlwind visit to Belize on Sunday, the first by any Cuban leader in the country's shared history. At the PGIA, President Diaz-Canel and his wife, Her Excellency Dr. Liz Cuesta Peraza, were greeted by Ambassador Amalia May, Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Belize, and Her Excellency Dame Froila Zalam. After the diplomatic meet, the President and his spouse were escorted by the Governor General to the salute for the playing of the national anthems, Cuba First, followed by Belize. After the intonation of both anthems, the Cuban President inspected the Guard of Honor. After the inspection of the guard, the President was escorted back to the dais for the general salute, where the last portion of Belize's national anthem was played. The Governor General introduced the President and his wife to the guests, Mr. Daniel Mendez, spouse of the Governor General, Honorable Amon Courtney, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration, and Her Excellency Maria Caridad Balaquer Labrada, Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba to Belize. After the brief ceremony at the airport, President Diaz-Canel and his delegation were escorted to the government house in Belize City for brief bilateral talks and signing of agreements. There, he greeted by the Prime Minister of Belize, Honorable John Briceño, and escorted to the second floor of the government house to have a courtesy visit with Her Excellency Froila Zalam, Governor General of Belize, followed by a bilateral meeting with Honorable John Briceño, Prime Minister of Belize, and his delegation. Thereafter, a special joint sitting place, the first such sitting held outside of Belmopan since it became the capital, and the first ever to be held on a Sunday. During the special sitting, Prime Minister John Bresenio spoke about the significance of Diaz-Canel's visit to Belize.
Our invited guests, Mr. President, Your Excellency Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, on behalf of the members of the National Assembly, and indeed on behalf of the nation of Belize, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you once again to our beloved Jewel, Belize. Your visit is yet another symbol of the deep bonds of friendship that exist between our two nations and people. A friendship that is based on mutual respect, the principles of international law, and those other noble principles enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations, such as the right to self-determination and territorial integrity, non-intervention of the internal affairs of other states, and the peaceful settlement of disputes. Cuba's consistent and principled support of Belize's right to self-determination and territorial integrity, a support which we enjoyed before independence and continue to enjoy even today, is recognized and appreciated by all freedom-loving Belizeans. Robust commitment to constructive and meaningful collaboration. This morning, our collaboration was further enhanced by the signing of two more agreements, an agreement on culture and a memorandum of understanding on immigration.
For Prime Minister John Bresenio, Cuba stands as an exemplary nation since, despite facing several sanctions, its leaders still managed to walk down that humanitarian route.
We in Belize, and in fact all other countries benefiting from Cuba's solidarity, should be aware of the fact that Cuba has consistently extended a helping hand, even as they themselves fighting for survival under the savage sanctions imposed on them. Este tipo de situaciones no se da al azar, sino depende de un sistema socioeconómico que prioriza el acceso a la salud básica, a la educación universal, y pone énfasis en el desarrollo científico desde hace muchas décadas. Es el resultado de una revolución del pueblo cubano y de su líder histórico, Fidel Castro. That sort of thing cannot just happen. It must depend on a social and economic system that prioritizes primary health care, universal education, emphasis on scientific development over the decades. It is a result of a revolution made by the people of Cuba and its historic leader, Fidel Castro.
And to reinforce Belize's support for Cuba, the Prime Minister called on America to remove Cuba from the list of states considered sponsors of terrorism.
Belize congratulates Cuba for its advocacy for others in the developing world in its various roles, such as the critical role they will play as chair of the Group of 77 plus China within the United Nations system. Belize notes that these actions take place in the face of an unjust and illegal financial, commercial, and trade embargo imposed by the United States of America. Belize further condemns the unjustified designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. We continue to urge the United States government to remove Cuba from the state sponsors of terrorism list, as there is no legal nor moral justification for Cuba to remain.
For his part, President Diaz-Canel reassured Belizeans that the country will continue to enjoy Cuba's full support.
Our discussions with the Prime Minister and his delegation will seek to identify new opportunities for cooperation in joint projects in the benefit of our people. Here is a distinctive feature. Our bilateral relations have gone beyond diplomatic formalities to operate as bonds between two brotherly peoples. Cuba was hit hard by the recent pandemic that affected not only our people but also our economic performance. We know that Belize was also hit hard. Our two nations have also been stricken by devastating natural disasters such as hurricanes that have caused valuable human losses and significant economic damages. Under these circumstances, we have found ways to help each other on the understanding that such a help was not enough, but it was always sincere and useful, and it was distant from assistance, seasonal assistance. On behalf of the Cuban people and government, we recognize and thank the Belizean people for its selfless assistance during the pandemic of COVID-19 and the explosion at the oil terminal in Matanzas and in the wake of powerful Hurricane Ian. For Cuba, the pandemic was compounded by the flare-up of the commercial, economic, and financial blockade being imposed by the U.S., a policy that has been condemned by the people and government of Belize in a consistent fashion, and I thank you for that on behalf of Cuba. This blockade remains in place, but our people continues to confront it with the equal solidarity on our side, but also with our capacity to resist and create, evidence of which has been given by the Cuban people for over 6 decades. Brothers and sisters from Belize, we are certain that this visit will further strengthen the bonds of friendship and solidarity between our two nations. This visit is also a first step in compliance with the resolutions adopted at the 8th Cuba CARICOM Summit meeting. Let me confirm, rest assured, you will always be able to rely on Cuba in the face of the immense challenges ahead of the small state of immense spirituality such as ours. On your side, we will always be there. Long live the brotherly relations between Belize and Cuba.
5 months from now, Belize and Cuba will celebrate 20 years of diplomatic relations. Cuba was one of the first regional nations to stand beside Belize as we internationalize our cause for independence and has remained a strong supporter, offering critical assistance in areas of health and education, thus contributing to the nation's development. While we are yet to find out in detail about the agreement signed on Sunday, we do know that the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology of Belize signed a cultural cooperation agreement with Cuba. The agreement was signed by Francis Fonseca, Minister of Culture, and Bruno Rodriguez Parilla, Cuban Minister of Foreign Affairs, on behalf of the Ministry of Culture of Cuba. And as our leaders look forward to building the relationship between both nations in an effort to collectively advance the prosperity and development of Belizeans, the hope is that the agriculture sector will also enjoy a piece of the pie.
I think this is history. We are grateful, we are honored with the presence of the President of Cuba. Cuba has been a long-standing friend of Belize, and we have gained so much from them. We've learned a lot. They have shared their technical resources in sugarcane. I speak from an agriculture perspective. We have excellent agronomists that have returned from Cuba, Belizean agronomists. We have doctors. We have shared research information with us. Sugarcane. The sugarcane industry has benefited from from soil analysis, soil profiling, soil characterization. We've had varieties of sugarcane brought in from Cuba. So we have benefited a lot from being friends with Cuba. And I think that today is historical. We are so grateful with the presence of the President Cuba today.
Are you hopeful to see the agriculture industry benefit more based on maybe the bilaterals that were signed today?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm an advocate of trade in the region, Central American and the Caribbean.
After learning of some of the challenges and concerns currently facing producers in the dairy sector, Cabinet requested that the Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, along with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration, initiate a comprehensive assessment of the sector in Belize. Yesterday, Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai was questioned about those challenges but indicated that Cabinet's release was taken out of context. What is truly occurring is that dairy producers are requesting assistance to access the CARICOM market.
This year there is no surplus of milk. As you may recall in the past, we had problems where farmers were throwing away milk because we didn't have enough market for it during the COVID period. The shelf life was only 15 days. That has changed now. As a matter of fact, there is somewhat of a shortage of milk right now because all the milk is being processed, made into UHT, and has a shelf life of 90 days. And that has hit the market well. The market has accepted it well. So there's no major problem with the dairy industry. As a matter of fact, the only problem that the industry faces is what is facing all our agriculture industries, which is the high cost of production at this time. As you all know, costs of goods have gone up, costs of agro inputs, fertilizers, all materials used in agriculture have gone up, just like any other thing. And that is not only facing the dairy industry, but it's facing the banana industry, the citrus industry, and the sugarcane farmers. So all the sectors right now are having a very difficult time with the high costs. But that there is a problem in dairy, there is not. The cheese, as you will recall also, we are having problems in the past with cheese. Today we don't have the problem. Cheese is selling well. We have controlled the importation of cheddar and mozzarella. We have managed that well also. And so our local production is selling. As a matter of fact, the farmers are requesting for us to consider tarifying milk. As you all know, imported milk does not pay an import duty. It pays only a GST. And if we are to protect our local industry, the farmers are asking that we consider now increasing tariffs on imported milk. You must also know that much of the dairy products across the world, Europe and the US and Mexico, are subsidized by the governments. So having a subsidized product coming into the country, not paying duty, and our farmers struggling to meet the high costs here. So what the farmers are requesting, I believe, in my view, is not unreasonable, but we have to give it careful thought. As a matter of fact, in January of 2021, I took a paper to Cabinet requesting for this to be done. We have also, in regards to the dairy industry and the manufacturing industry, the processing industry, have shifted policy in that we are no longer charging any import duty on materials or supplies or machinery for processing. And that is what led to the industry now having a UHT equipment where all the milk now is being processed and consumed locally. And now we're looking at the CARICOM markets.
So when you say there was a shortage, can you further explain that? Because you spoke about UHT, so is it, what exactly, where's the shortage in the...
Yeah, what happened is that because we are processing all the milk, there's always a little shortage. All the people are bringing in milk, right? It's not like we have a surplus, which means that there is room for the industry to grow. And so, as a matter of fact, at the end of this month, we will launch the dairy industry strategy. And we will inform you about that so you can come and listen to what the strategy is about. But we are focusing on increasing the industry by 5% every year under that strategy.
Coming up next, the new BYM Orange Walk chapter sworn in. Stay tuned.
¿Quieres dinero rápido por tus prendas de oro? Entonces aprovecha de los grandes préstamos y empeños de oro en Monica's Pawn Shop. Nuestra baja tasa garantizada de solo el 10% en todas las joyas de empeño. Eso no es todo. También empeñamos televisores, compramos chatarra de oro y puede empeñar su vehículo y aún continuar conduciéndolo. Visite Monica's Pawn Shop en nuestra ubicación en Ciudad Belice, número 128 Cemetery Road, en Ciudad Belmopan, en el número 5 Garden Plaza y en el municipio de Orange Walk, en número 2 Belize Corozal Road. Llámenos al 207-0970 y obtenga más dinero por sus joyas de oro.
¡Es hoy! ¡Por fin es hoy!
A rodar.
¡Esto va a estar bueno!
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Smart introduces real unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
When is loud too loud? Today on a one-on-one, we spoke to the professionals who were in town to carry out simultaneous simulations on how to use a decibel reader to register noise pollution at establishments. The training activity was carried out in collaboration with the Department of the Environment and the Orange Walk Police Department. Marco Escalante tells us more.
What the Department of Environment is doing today is a sensitization workshop, a training workshop with the police department. The pollution regulations provide for the Department of the Environment to enforce the noise abatement regulations. Apart from the Department of the Environment, we also have the police, who are authorized officers to also enforce the regulations. So what we're doing is the DOE donated several decibel meters to police departments throughout Belize. And what we're doing now is actually doing the training and showing them how to use the equipment and the procedures we, the DOE, take on issuing notices. The regulations is broken down into day and night. It does not specify time. It just says day and night. So basically when the sun sets, that's the night. And in that case, the decibel levels would be, for example, an establishment like this, a restaurant within a residential area would be 45 decibels during the night. During the day, it would go up to 80 decibels. So now, this, what I have here is a decibel meter. It measures the level of sound that is being emitted by a specific equipment. It could be used to measure noise coming from vehicles as well. So what we're doing today is measuring the noise that is coming out from the speaker.
Escalante says the decibel reader will be used to measure noise emitted from speakers and radios, but will also be used to measure noise made by trucks and motorcycles.
The equipment is relatively easy to use. You turn it on, you wait for it to self-calibrate. And then you allow the establishment to play their music you press max hold so that it picks up the level that is being played.
Okay.
And that is the level afterwards that it shows here is what will be going on this, on the noise abatement notice. Now the noise abatement notice is a legal instrument that we use to issue warnings. What the DOE does is issue 3 warnings. After 3 warnings, then we take court action and press charges according to the pollution regulations, right? So now in the form you'll notice that it has 2. That would be the name of the manager or the owner if present. We specify the establishment. For example, this would be just X nightclub, for example. Noise emitted from, we will specify structure C, being that in the regulations it specifies the different types of structures. Structure C specifically is talking about a building in a residential area that is used for commerce or entertainment. Now we have to also record the serial number of the decibel meter. Further down you'll notice that we have a table. We follow the table with the decibel reading we got, the time we took it, the distance we took it from the establishment, the date, and then at the end my signature or whosoever is taking the reading has to sign it.
With the newly gifted decibel readers, owners of establishments including restaurants, lounges, clubs, among others, will be getting random visits by members of the Department of the Environment and or the Police Department in order to regulate noise pollution in town. For Carmen Babb, owner of the new San Francisco restaurant, the activity has proven that her restaurant knows to obey the laws of the land.
I think that they did good that they came here so that I can learn about it, because every time somebody comes and says that my music is hard like that, I think that now that how they have this exercise, now I know the correct grade that I can put my music.
You think that you were on par? You think, how was your grading today?
Oh, it's perfect. I think I score 100 because my level, I did not guess. I just left it like that, and it was correct.
And you think this is going to affect the way you do your restaurant activities, or?
No, it will not affect, because the people will get used to it, and they can tell me put higher, and I know what I'm supposed to put the level of it, right? So I think it's good.
We also spoke to the chairman of the Liquor License Board for the Orange Walk District. Diode Novello gave us his comments about today's simulation.
Actually, it's a good simulation because we have to sensitize the community of what noise pollution is about. We have been getting reports sometimes, of people playing loud music, and because we don't have the equipment to test, so we cannot say it is actually loud or whatnot, or is disturbing to the community. So we decided to have this simulation, and people will be getting sensitized about this now. I think the Orange Walk people are very responsible people, and once we monitor them and let them know exactly how loud the music will be in decibels, they will abide by it. Like right now, today, we're doing San Francisco, and Ms. Liddy said that she's normally going to play that music, so she already knows how loud that music is supposed to be. So I believe that they will abide by it.
Okay, and advise those persons who own establishments, and at the end at 12 o'clock when doors are supposed to be closed, they say, oh, we just want 2 more music, 3 more music. What would be your advice now to those people?
Actually, the closing hours supposed to be half an hour before the actual time, so that they could allow people to come out, and then close at the time is being set to close. Not close, then you have people that they have to come out. Close at least, or try to close the place at least half an hour before time, so that people come out.
Then you'll have no problem.
You have no problem then.
Additional information is available on the social platforms of the Department of the Environment. On Saturday, February 11, 2023, Belizean medical professionals attended the 6th National Health Insurance Symposium, which was held at the Biltmore Plaza Hotel in Belize City. This forum, entitled NCD Symposium 2023, Rethinking Priorities Post-COVID, was organized by the National Health Insurance, Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Belize Medical and Dental Association, the Pan American Health Organization PAHO, the World Health Organization WHO, and the Belize Social Security Board. During the one-day event, different medical experts presented on the status of non-communicable diseases within Belize's population in the 3 years since COVID-19 became a global public health threat. They also discussed emerging trends in the health needs of patients, both domestically and internationally, and the best practices that health officials at home and abroad have developed to try and meet that demand. Mrs. Narda Garcia, CEO in the Office of the Prime Minister and one of the keynote speakers at the symposium, told attendees, after the battering that humanity took with this pandemic, life and health profiles have changed. In some cases, existing problems have been made more acute, while other new health problems have come to the fore and must be addressed. The challenges of picking up the pieces for those that were afflicted with chronic non-communicable diseases is a huge one. Among the topics for exploration were the critical health issues affecting Belizeans post-COVID, including non-communicable diseases, the mental health strain on COVID patients and medical personnel, recommendations on antibiotic use and mental health in the elderly. Newly elected president of the Belize Youth Movement Orange Walk chapter appeared on Despierta Belize this morning. The educator spoke about what the plans will be like under her reign and the rest of the newly elected team.
I aspire for change, and I aspire that youths have a voice in our community, as well as to influence the decisions that are taken in our country, because most of the time we are the biggest population. We are like about half of the population of Belize. Our demographics by the Statistical Institute of Belize show that 230,000 are youths in our community. So that's a huge population, and we must cater for them, and we must try to involve them in whatever is happening in our community. So that's one of the aspirations that led me to become the leader of this dynamic team. In our swearing-in ceremony, we invited the government, we invited the village councillors, we invited the ministers, and also the mayor of Orange Walk to invite us so that we can listen to them and we can be part of what is happening in our community. Because if we are not aware, then how will we transmit that information to the youth? So one of the first things that we ask for is for involvement, so that the BYM is involved, in the different activities and the different meetings, such as the Northern Caucuses or the electoral meetings and so forth. The other thing that we ask for is for them to give us their support whenever we are doing community outreach and having events. This way we're going to build a close communication with what the town is doing and what the North is doing as a whole.
The Belize Youth Movement is the youth arm of the People's United Party. The team was sworn in on Saturday, and all members must be between ages 18 to 25.
Our vision for the youths is to recognize not only that we are future leaders, but also present leaders. And we are all leaders in this community, but we need to find a way that we can work and develop that leadership skill that we have within us, because in the longer run, the different honorable ministers will step down in their posts, and the youth are going to come over. So we must develop some type of leadership skills within ourselves. And because of this, we must be agents of change in our contemporary society with direct stake in the development process. We must not be left behind, because if we are left behind, we're not going to be informed. We believe that young people should participate in decisions taken about the resources of tomorrow. So in some way or another, we must be able to advise the government or advise the people in power so that we can use our resources in a positive way and in a manner that we are going to have for the future as well. We believe that young people should participate in the decisions taken today so that we can influence we can influence the future, and of course build some type of a peaceful municipality where youths are promoted, and it is a municipality that is a friendly one. We are a group of members who range from the age of 18 to 25, and we do recruit for younger age. So what we basically do, we do community outreach, we do social, cultural, educational activities that promote the youth in all aspects, and we also we do a lot of community outreach because we want to get the youths involved, and we want to have healthy recreational activities for the youths to be active in the community and to stay away from drugs and alcohol and so forth.
Group meets every Thursday and is recruiting more members to join the Orange Walk chapter. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, February 14, here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.